The month of September. Let's see what September has for us. New video games and everything of every single day. New Metal Gear Solid and the release of Rare Replay. Now let's see what we got. Alright, let's do it.
Do you know you are my very best friend?
Alright, so hello and hey, what's up, homies? My name is Sonic568. Anyways, so welcome to this brand new video in which today we shall be talking about the Sega Dreamcast. Now, this is a very popular console, and without a single doubt in my mind, this is my absolute second favorite console of all time. And my first favorite console of all time is the Nintendo GameCube. If you guys want me to do a video on that and my opinion on it, which obviously enough is the greatest movie of all time, then go and check out that video. Anyway, so coming up in about 7 days from now exactly is going to be this little guy's birthday. It's turning 16 years old now. This console was released, well, as for here in America, the Sega Dreamcast was released on September 9th, 1999, and by the way, I'm airing this video on September 2nd, 2015. I was going to do it yesterday, but I wanted to release this video on September 9th, so yeah, that's when the video will be up by the time I finish editing this. So, and also controller here. So, the Sega Dreamcast, a little history behind it. It's the last Sega console, which I only own two Sega consoles. I own the Sega Dreamcast and I own the Sega Game Gear. Now, as you may all know, first off, I'm a huge video game collector, and as for the release date of the Dreamcast in Japan, I know it was 1998, I just don't remember the exact date. But so, anyway, this was the last console made by Sega before Sega became a third-party company, and it released a lot of great games, which I'll be talking about. And it was basically Sega's last attempt at a great console, because originally they had the Sega Master System here in America, and that didn't do too well. It did okay in Japan, and in Europe it was, pretty good, because Europe is accepting of all sorts of things. Then it came out the Genesis, that was incredibly popular, going up against the Super Nintendo. And then they chose to go after things like the Sega CD, the Sega 32X, the Sega Saturn. But granted, the Sega Saturn, to be honest, is a pretty good console, but it was still a massive failure. And they also tried it handhelds with this thing, and the Sega Nomad, which was a portable Genesis, essentially. But the only console they actually made that was beyond popular was the Sega Genesis. My friend Sean actually still has one to this day, so that pretty much shows it. And look at what Sega's done now. Before they were hardware manufacturers, and now they're making games like this. Anyway, so this was the last console made by Sega, and what a great console to go out with. Actually, it's so great that people still make games for this thing today. Now, granted, this was actually a discontinued console back all the way in 2001 here in America, and I find that to be really sad, because the Dreamcast is amazing. Here's the sad thing about it. It just didn't sell enough. Now, the console at the time of the 6th generation, this was the first console in the 6th generation, and after I got this, I had every single console in the 6th generation. If you don't know what the 6th generation was, like, third was NES Master System, and then the fourth was the Super Nintendo, like 16-bit era and the Bit Wars, and then fifth would be Nintendo 64 and everything, and then you have sixth over here, which was the Dreamcast, the GameCube, favorite console of all time, the Xbox Original, which is about my third favorite console, or fourth favorite console of all time, and also the PlayStation 2. Now, the Sega Saturn, when it was released, it launched really, really well. And I'm going to reference a YouTuber I watch a lot, Koralik, who he is a very, 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 very big fan of the Sega Dreamcast. Uh, go check out his link. I'll put it in the description below because he has an entire collection for the Sega Dreamcast. He has an entire like he just has every single Dreamcast game out there. And he's an addict to Shenmue. I really want to get into Shenmue, but I don't have a copy sadly, and I don't have money. I'm a kid. But go check him out. He's a really, really cool guy, and I love watching his videos. He's one of my favorite people on YouTube to watch. Anyway, so that he's the reason why I got a Dreamcast because, well, that and I'll get into that later. But so the Sega Dreamcast, when it came out, it launched really, really well because it was so ahead of its time. Sega was always ahead of their time, starting with like the Sega Channel and such, and they're always trying to be innovative. And they always end up doing good somehow. Like they want to get the catch up on Nintendo by making their 16-bit console back in '89, and the blast processing and all the other things they chose to do. And it was really cool, but nothing really takes it as well as the Sega Dreamcast did, which now I realize I have to clean this thing out because it's sort of dirty and scratched up. But this is my own personal opinion on the 6th generation. Video games aren't the same as they used to be, okay? Now I'm like, yeah, the PlayStation 3, 4, Xbox 360, Xbox One, the Wii U. The Wii was a piece of crap, really, and not because the games weren't bad. The games were amazing on the Wii U, especially Okami. I love Okami. But I think the worst part about the Wii U was not only just the controller, but also the sensor bar and the fact that the console, it breaks down easily. My console, not internally, but externally, like if it falls over or something. The sole reason why I bought a Wii U was because I wanted to have GameCube backwards compatibility. That's the sole reason I love the GameCube. But video games stopped really being video games after the 6th generation ended. Because I feel like it's the PlayStation 2's fault. Now when the Dreamcast came out and the Nintendo GameCube, I felt like they were the only true consoles that were made to be video game consoles. While the PlayStation 2, which launched intelligently, oh my god, all my hats go off to say if I had an invisible hat right now, my hat goes off to Sony. I said Sega before, I'm sorry, Sony, for launching PS2 like they did. It was like, yeah, well, we have something like this, it plays games. No, we got something like this, it plays movies. You like that, right? And it was the cheapest form of a movie DVD player at the time. It was backwards compatible with our PS1 games. See, they launched it so well that the PS2, bro, it went into 2 generations. It ended in 2013, and the last game I remember on it was the FIFA 14, I believe, on PS2. I have the Slim. I don't have a. Like I said, if you want me to do retrospectives on any of these consoles I own, which is Nintendo 64, GameCube, Xbox Original, PlayStation 3, PlayStation 2, NES, we'll have a refresher on NES, but okay, let's not count that one at the moment. Wii, Xbox 360, and so on, and Game Gear actually. Then I'll do it for you guys. I don't care. Oh, and PlayStation 1, because I have a lot of PlayStation 1 games. But the thing is, this console and the GameCube were like the last true game console. They didn't focus on having CD. I'm like, this did allow you to use CDs, but its main focus was for the gamer. It wasn't, oh, you can watch movies on here. Because both the Xbox original and the PlayStation 2 that it's not, oh, we got the best graphics or something. No, it wasn't about this. I always like to say it's quality over quantity, and the Dreamcast really does that really, really well. I have yet to find a game on the Sega Dreamcast that's bad. Well, I'll let you talk about one which is but I've never found a game that's actually bad. I found ones that are very weird, such as Seaman. And the Dreamcast, though, it's a beautiful console, and it was so ahead of its time. It is still to this day the only console I know of that ran with Windows CE, which it says right here on the front. And if you look on the back of it, it has an AV out here. which, oh, you guys used to cut out the cables, which are a piece of crap. It was horrible, yeah. But it was the only console I know that ever used, it had the ability to use VGA, which makes it go from being 480i to 480p. And not only that, but people tried doing things with emulation on here, so where you can play your PS1 games and everything, and they clean up so well. For example, one game I have, or well, I'm going to get this week, Metal Gear Solid on PS1. If you take that and you get a boot disc and you put it in the Dreamcast and run it through VGA, it cleans up better than the PS2 does. It cleans up better than the PS3 does. It looks really, really good. Now, I will give it the benefit of the doubt that the Dreamcast, most of its library games are ports from like the N64 and the PS1. But it doesn't mean anything. They still got great games on their hands, such as Sonic Adventure, Sonic Adventure 2, Shenmue, Jet Set Radio, Seaman even. They had so many great games. Panzer Dragoon. It's just, bruh, it was amazing. Wait 1 second as I check my phone. I'm sorry, but people are spamming me. So, first off, Sega is not the same way it was at one point. Cause, I mean, like, you know it messed up when they made something like this. And granted, I actually really, really liked this game when it came out. I love the music and I love the Sonic gameplay. But with Sonic the Werehog and everything, it's very, Sega's look really not the same. The last good game I know they made was, other than like Sonic and Sega's All-Star Transformed, or the All-Star Racing and crap. Other than that, but the only really good games I know that they made recently were things like Sonic Generations and Sonic Colors. Those games are great, but it's still not the same. I'm like, yeah, they have bad games, and yes, hate on me if you want, but I like Sonic R or I. It was great to me. But with the Dreamcast though, this was their last hurrah, really. It was their last chance at making it into the market again. And really, it's sad because it ended so quickly. And no, I was born in the year 2000. I was born a year after Dreamcast. I was still alive when the Dreamcast, or was out existing when the Dreamcast was still going out and about. And growing up, there was only 2 consoles that I knew in the world that existed, other than Super Nintendo, because I had that, and the Nintendo 64 and PS1. But that was really it. Those were the only 2 things I knew existed in the world. Was Nintendo and Sony. The PlayStation 2 and the GameCube. Those are the only 2 things I knew of. I found out about the Xbox original later on when I was like 7, because a cousin of mine had Halo on it, and we would play that. And yeah, that was cool, but I never knew what the Dreamcast was. And it blew my mind when I found out Sega made consoles, and I didn't know this until 2011. I was like, Sega made consoles? The people who made Sonic? It blew my mind, because I grew up knowing them as a third-party developer. And that's really sad, because now when I see them, I see the things they did. I see the machines they created that was so amazing. And it's really sad because they aren't like that anymore. Granted, they're probably snorting cocaine up their nose over there at Sega because they chose to make this game a good idea. But regardless, video games really aren't the same anymore. Because now, especially for a great example, the Xbox One and the PS4, and even the Wii U. The Wii U, what did it bring in here? It had a lackluster of launch titles, and it also started bringing up the fact of, yeah, you can play your games while people are watching TV. Okay, so, why would I want that? Because if you're like me, you want all your game consoles in your room, not in someone else's room where someone's gonna bother you. Because if you know, you'll be trying to play a game and your parents come and like, no, get out. But also, with the Xbox One focusing heavily on TV and DMR or whatever the hell that is, I think that was like the stupid shit they did. They did a lot of stupid shit. But in the PlayStation, they really focus more on online stuff and watching movies and everything, especially the PS2. It's not the same anymore. It's not focusing on the games. It's focusing on entertainment other than games. For movies and Netflix and YouTube and sharing and playing online with your friends. What happened to the good old, and I'm gonna sound really old here, but I'm serious. What happened to the good old days in which you and your friends would sit down on the same TV and play a game together? You don't get that anymore. What you get is you get yourself sitting by yourself, talking to your friend on Skype or via the microphones or whatever, and they're not next to you. There's a huge difference when you're having fun playing video games with your friends and you're with them than when you're playing video games without them and you're still playing with them, but over some wireless connection. And that's something I absolutely adore the older consoles for, because I'm a huge retro person and a GameCube and everything. For example, me and my friend Sean were playing Mario Party 4 the other day. We adore playing that game. And it probably wouldn't be the same if we were playing it online. Because you have to realize something. Just because you're online doesn't mean it's better. Because you lose something with it. Every time we take a step further in technology, we're also taking a step back. The Dreamcast, it took a huge leap forward. But it didn't do something wrong. It still has the 4 controller points here. Or ports. I mean, like, it was the first console to come built in with an online thing for it, which was the 56K modem, which you could upgrade to make it the broadband adapter. And I realize that's flashing, I'm sorry. And I wish I had the broadband adapter, but I don't. I want to get my hands on one eventually, because there are still private servers up there. But the Dreamcast, it did something no other consoles did at that point. I think the GameCube had online capabilities, but I don't know. I never grew up with that, but despite that being my favorite console, this, if I never knew the GameCube, this was what would probably take it. Because if you think just because it lasted for only 2 years, it only sold 10 million units, if you think Sonic isn't good anymore, pick up a Dreamcast. They're not that expensive. I got mine for 45 bucks at Gamers Inc. And the library of games on it, granted, you can go onto one of the Dreamcast talk forums and say, oh, your favorite game is this, and they'll find you something there. And it's amazing. Now, let me talk about something that's kind of infamous with the Dreamcast. And that's this thing, the controller right here. Now, the only thing about the controller is, it's not that bad, really. It's just that this one part fact of the thing coming out from the bottom, which the wire's kind of short, really, compared to something like the PS2 controller or the Xbox, especially the Xbox original controller. My Xbox original controller goes up to like 12 feet. This is like 2 feet, really. I don't even know. It's my arm's length. And the fact that it goes bottom and you have this thing to hook it onto in the back, that's kind of weird, but regardless, it was a great controller and had a lot of adaptations for it that I wish I could talk about, but I only have one of them at the moment. And one of those is this. I still say to this day, this is the greatest memory card of all time. It's called a VMU, a visual memory chip. This was the thing that Sega would make. Remember when the Nintendo 64, it only had one slot in the back, and you would take the memory card and you shove it in the back, and you would have there? Well, this was better, because not only that, and you had 2 slots first off, not just one. And then the Xbox original also did that, but you had a screen on this. You could play games on this. Sonic Adventure, you could take your chows and you could be raising your chows, and you can link this up with other things. Now, yes, it doesn't have that much space on it, but I've only taken up like 4 blocks of this. You have to use blocks. I mean, like, this thing, and sorry about that, my camera died, but this thing has a screen on it. You can be playing your games, you can be raising your child and everything. It was so innovative. And also, for some of you people out there that don't know this, especially really young kids that are younger than me, this thing didn't have rumble feature. And same thing with Nintendo 64, and I grew up with that as well. I grew up with old consoles, okay? The newest console I had at the time was the GameCube. And let me just put this into your perspective right here. The PlayStation 3 came out in 2006. I didn't get a PlayStation 3 until 2013. When The Last of Us came out. I didn't get an Xbox 360 until 2012. That came out in 2005. At the time, in 2004 when I got my GameCube, that's all I wanted. But what was the first console I ever had? A Super Nintendo. And I got a GameCube. And I got a Nintendo 64. And a PlayStation 1 and PlayStation 2. And I all got these things late. I didn't jump into the next generation until 2008 when the Wii, well, the Wii came out in 2006, but I got my Wii at 2008. But I still never wanted that. I only got it because the GameCube backwards compatibility. If I knew about this, I would have gotten this immediately. But here's the thing. The Sega Dreamcast, it doesn't have rumble feature where it shakes. The PS2 or the PS3 controller, you get the deal. My PS2 controller's over here. The PS2 controller, it rumbles. The Xbox original controller, it rumbles. The GameCube controller, it rumbles. This didn't, but it was the first one to come out in 1999. What do you expect? The Nintendo 64 didn't either. It came with Star Fox 64. But here's the thing though, this was really innovative because you had the microphone for C-Man, you had the 4X memory card, you had a lot of things right there for this console, and it was absolutely amazing. Now, granted, I would still prefer the GameCube because I love the GameCube more for Pikmin and such, and also you can play Game Boy games on it. Like, who doesn't want to play Pokemon on your big screen in 480p? Like, whoo! But this. And first of all, when you're playing games, you pop this in here and your screen starts lighting up and you see things that's like, ah! And a lot of games do like this. For example, I actually have the first one here, but you'll get the point. I'll also pick up this one. But Resident Evil, okay? Yeah, this is the PlayStation 1 game, but of Resident Evil 1. But they also had Resident Evil 2 on this. Now, first off, you can actually end up playing a PlayStation 1 game there, but you need a boot disc or something to mod your console if you want to play it otherwise, because the Sega Dreamcast uses a special disc called a GD-ROM, while pirators try to use CDs, but if you use a CD on this, it will damage the laser and break it. So don't do that. You should use MIL CDs. They work, and it was only really used in Japan. So yeah, but go with MIL CDs. Once again, Adam Koralik's video, I'll put an annotation right here explaining as to why, but I'm shouting him out a lot. Adam, listen to me. If you see this video, oh my god, I love you, man. You are, like, oh my god. You're awesome. Okay, just, I can't stop with that enough. You're awesome. I swear to God. Oh my god, you're so freaking awesome. I love watching your videos, okay? Anyways, I feel like if he were to do this, I'd be so freaking happy. I feel like he's gonna make another Dreamcast video about how the fan base goes on, and then he'll probably bring me up, and I'll be like, hi! Because I bet he'll do a video for the Dreamcast's birthday as well, but, you know. Anyways, so, the Dreamcast can use GD-ROMs and those CDs, but GD-ROMs were like a better version of CD-ROMs. Instead of using 500 megabytes, it was an entire 1 gigabyte, which when DVD came out, DVDs could hold up to 8 gigabytes if it was dual layer, so that wouldn't help really a lot. But at the time, that was new, and here's the best thing about it. You put a GD-ROM in something else, and I actually tried this before, I don't know why I'm stupid, but you take a GD-ROM, put in like a CD player. Some games would say this is a Dreamcast game, you cannot play it on this, it'll break your speakers, yada yada. Other ones, you pop it in there and you hear this, and it's fucking terrifying. First off, it scared the shit out of me. And first off, one of the games that did come out on, this came out on Dreamcast as well, Tony Hawk Pro Skater. I love this game, okay? I love all the Tony Hawk games, especially Tony Hawk 2 Underground, or Tony Hawk Underground 2. I love that to pieces and bits, but here's one thing, okay? The Dreamcast, to me, it did it better, okay? The Dreamcast did so many things right. It had, like, the online capabilities and everything. Now, here's what I'm going to talk about the games. And I have a limited library of Dreamcast games. I know there's a lot that I'm missing out on, such as Shenmue, which, once again, I really want to get that. Adam, if you have a spare copy of Shenmue, I'm not asking you to give it to me, can I please borrow it? I really want to play Shenmue, like, super badly. like, you were talking about it so much, and I'm like, well, my favorite game is Portal, and I don't think anything's gonna top that. But I also love the Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney series so much because of the storyline and everything. I love Japanese stuff. I love stuff like that, and I started like reading into shit, and I'm like, I want to play this, I want to play this, I want to play this, I want to play this. So please, Adam, if you have an extra copy, please get that part out. Just email me if you want to, or message me through YouTube, please, please, bring the Shenmue 3 faster. That's also the sole reason why I'm getting a PS4. So yeah. Anyways, but here's what I'm gonna talk about some games. So one game I don't have in the case. So yeah. Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six. Now I love the Tom Clancy games for Rainbow Six, and yeah. And if you want to see what the bottom of a GD-ROM looks like, for some reason that's what it looks like. I'm sorry if it starts blaring in your face, but my school's youth pastor gave that to me. And first off, one thing I will say about this game, it's good, but the controls are absolutely atrocious. They're so bad. It's like, if you, and this is the best way I can explain it. Let's say this is a PSP, okay? Have you ever played freaking Call of Duty 3, Road to Victory on PSP? You know how, like, you'll be using analog stick to move and you use the buttons to aim, right? That's how it is on Dreamcast, because there's no second analog stick. But here's where they make it worse, because they choose to make the whole entire thing inverted. So you want to move forward, you push down. You want to aim up, you press A. And it's the most retarded crap ever, and it's super sensitive, and oh my god. I love the game, but the controls are so bad, I don't even know what to do with them. So let's move on to another game. And this is a very, very, very surprising thing. You ready? Sega Sports NBA 2K. Now let me point something out right now for all you people who know me, and I know this is in horrible condition, but it was free, so they gave it to me for free. Well, they gave it to Sean, and Sean gave it to me because I got the Dreamcast, and I gave him Sonic the Hedgehog 2, not for resale, on Genesis because I don't have a Genesis yet. So yeah, but I don't like sports. I don't like sports games, but for some reason, every time I play a sports game on a Sega console, I love it, except the next one I'll show off, which is Sega Sports NFL 2K1. The only reason why I don't like this one is, the plays aren't that good. I like playing the latest Madden just as much as the next guy because I do like football a little bit, mainly just watch the Super Bowl and see how Seahawks, because I've met Seahawks before. But regardless, this game, it's fun to play with. I love playing this game. I suck at it though. But this game, however, it's okay, but it's not great. Right? But that's just something else in my Dreamcast library. But also they did make a black one here in America for Sega Sports Dreamcast, which is black and it says Sega Sports on it. It would look nice if it didn't say Sega Sports and it comes with a limited edition controller, but it's kind of rare now. And also for the PAL regions, the Japanese regions, they look exactly the same as this, except this plastic piece is like transparent sort of. And the PAL region ones have a blue swirl because some German company called Viola, I think, has copyright or trademark on the red swirl, and they didn't want to, Sega didn't want to get into trouble, so they're like, okay, let's just change the color and we're done. And they did, and no problem. And also for people who like to believe that when you turn on a PAL version of a Dreamcast, it would light up blue. It doesn't. It lights up orange. Okay, just to clear that up. I would like to get my hands on the PAL one, to be honest, because I like the color blue, but the electric standards are different, and you need an adapter for that. And once again, I don't have money. Anyway, so moving on to the next game, which is called Extreme Sports. I don't have a cover to it. I would really like to get that, but it's called Extreme Sports. Another game with controls, not atrocious like Tom Clancy, but it's good. It's good. It has a variety of sports like riding a bike, ATV, skydiving, freaking paratrooping, or whatever the fuck it's called, hang gliding and crap. It's a fun game. I'm not gonna lie. I was playing with Sean one time when I first got the Dreamcast, and I immediately was like, dude, this control is like weird, but it's still fun to play with. Now let's move on to my favorite game I have on the Sega Dreamcast at the moment, because I don't have a lot, but then the game after that is a port onto the GameCube, favorite console of all time. But as for what I have on my Dreamcast, this is my favorite game of all time so far. Jet Set Radio. Now, why do I say Jet Set Radio? But David, it says Jet Grind Radio right there. I don't care. The Japanese name is Jet Set Radio. The Xbox original game was called Jet Set Radio Future. I like the name Jet Set Radio more. It says it in the game like a billion times, and it never says Jet Grind Radio except for the intro song. And I like that name a lot more than saying Jet Grind Radio. I like Jet Set Radio more. But this game, first off, I love the Tony Hawk games. I said that just a few moments ago. I love this game the second I put my freaking hands on the controller and started playing it. Because it is like Tony Hawk, but with graffiti and art. And one of the best soundtracks I have ever heard. And the first time I heard this soundtrack, before I even got the game, was when I would play Sonic and Sega All-Star Tennis on my DS. And I would play that, and I would hear the music from the game. I'm like, oh my god, that's amazing! And that was one of the first times I ever realized how good music in video games are, other than like Castlevania and Zelda and such. But I was like, oh my god, so amazing. I want to play that game one day, but I don't know what console's on. I have the console now! I saw this! I picked it up for $25. It was worth it. It was really worth it. It was a pretty good condition one. They had a factory seal one, but that was like $100 or some shit. I don't even know. It was like $30, really. But this is a really, really good game. If you have a Dreamcast, you don't have Jet Set Radio, go buy Jet Set Radio. It's a relatively cheap game on Amazon. You get for $20 complete. I paid $25, but it was in really good condition, so I didn't mind it. This game is just, oh my god, it's so amazing. If you don't have a Dreamcast, but you have an Xbox original, also get Jet Set Radio Future. It's just as good, but I prefer this one. Just trust me on this, okay? This version is better. The Dreamcast has so many games. But now on to the next game, which, like I said, is a GameCube port, but it originally came on the Dreamcast, and it's my favorite game of all time for this franchise. Not of all time. My favorite game of all time is Portal. Okay? But Sonic Adventure DX Director's Cut on GameCube. Yes, this is not a GameCube. I know. But I don't have the original game on Dreamcast, and I can't show it. I'm sorry. This is the next best thing I got so far. I adore this game. I literally love it to bits and pieces in every single ounce of my freaking heart. Because growing up, as you may know already, my name is Sonic X568. I'm just Sonic X, like the TV show in which the first season was this game, and I love that. And then 568 was my old house phone number, middle part mixed up, and so yeah, so forth. But I didn't realize it until afterwards. I just like the number 568. So yeah. But essentially, this game was originally on Dreamcast. This is a remastered remake with more. It comes with mission mode and awesome bonus games. And I love how this one has also some Game Gear and Master System ports of games like Sonic 2 and Sonic Chaos and such, which Sonic Chaos is possibly one of my other favorite Sonic games of all time. But if I can ever find this game on Dreamcast, I'm picking up without a heartbeat because I love this game so much. And not just for the Chows. I love the Chows, okay? But I love the storyline in this. I hate big story. Everyone hates that. If I wanted to play Sega Bass Fishing, I would play Sega Bass Fishing. And the story. I like the E102 Gamma stages, the Amy Rose stages, and Sonic, Tails, Knuckles. I really like that. As a kid, Chaos scared the crap out of me. I love the music in this. I love the gameplay in this. I love the art style in this. And to this day, it still makes me go like, I love this game. People always talk crap on this game. I'm looking at you, Jimmy Fitzgerald. But this game is amazing. Okay? If you have a GameCube, go pick this one up. If you have a Dreamcast, go pick this up. Okay? It's great. Yeah, Sonic is very, 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 very bad now. But you want to go back to when Sonic was good, you pick this up. Or Sonic Colors. Or any of the original Sonic games. Like Sonic 2 and 3 and Knuckles and... So yeah. But anyways, I wish I had more to talk about with the Sega Dreamcast, but I don't have that much stuff for it. I could talk about the history and the crap like that. But I think I've said really enough. I've done enough honest and goodness to this, and if you think I don't, just let me know. This is my first attempt at doing this. Inspired by, I will say it for another time, Adam Koralik. Dude, you are awesome, and my friend Mark goes to Chicago all the time because he's from there, so maybe one day I'll go with him, and I can probably try and meet you one day or something, but, you know. But the Dreamcast, it's my second favorite console of all time. Now, am I saying you should go buy a Dreamcast? Yes, you should. Get up, get off your butt, go buy a Dreamcast. This thing is good. It's just like the GameCube. Get up and go buy a GameCube as well. Okay, GameCube's main. I'll do a video on that later. But this console here, it's amazing. It really is. Okay. So if you ever see a Dreamcast in like a Goodwill or something for like $5 or in your local gaming store, I'm pretty sure GameStop started taking trade-ins for Dreamcast stuff as well. So because they started doing a retro thing where they take in PlayStation 1, NES, Super Nintendo, Nintendo 64, Dreamcast, and Genesis stuff. I'm pretty sure that's how it is. You can go to GameStop and ask them about that, see if they sell you a Dreamcast, because it's worth it. Now, they give you something over the price limit of $50 the most. Don't get it unless it has a broadband adapter with it, okay? But regardless, okay? You walk into a store, you see a Dreamcast sitting there, go pick it up. If you had a Dreamcast as a child, go pick it up, pick up some games for yourself, and trust me, you will adore this console. It's a great console. And sadly, it was the last thing by Sega. But, that, and if you open up a BMU and you look inside the processor chip under the screen, it says potato as a play on words with potato chip, which is pretty awesome. That, and I can't get enough out of the boot up sound. So I will show a small little video here of the Sega Dreamcast booting up with the music and such. And that will be really it, guys. I can't thank you enough for support, despite the fact that I don't have any subscribers. I would love it if you would, because then I would keep on doing this stuff, because I gave up on doing YouTube because I didn't have a fan base at all. But I'm doing this now, not because I don't have a fan base and I don't want to get one, but because of the fact that this console deserves to be talked about. The community deserves to know about this. This is a video dedicated to not only the gaming community, but the Dreamcast community as a whole. Okay? This is a great console. Okay? But I had a great time here. Seriously. Subscribe if you like. I'll talk more about this console if you want. But at the moment, just go buy one. Because I can't even speak enough about how great this thing is. The only way to truly understand its greatness is to experience it yourself. This was a console, not made for your neighbor or anyone, but for you. For you, the person watching the video. And yes, I'm quoting Adam. You, the true gamers. This console was made for you. It wasn't made for people who are casual and everything. No. It was made for people who are dedicated to video games. Not like the Nintendo GameCube, which, yeah, they did really try, and I still love that console more. But this was really the console that was made for you guys. If you're watching this and you're a hardcore gamer, go pick this up. If you're not, you're just getting into old video game collecting and such, start with the Dreamcast, okay? It's an affordable console to get, and the games are quite popular out there, and there are a ton of good games out there. And it's quite affordable to go pick up the majority of the games. Like I said, Jet Set Radio, I mean, one of the best games on Dreamcast, I only paid $25 for it. The most expensive game and the rarest game I know of on the Dreamcast so far I know there's another one, but it's just Japanese only, but I don't remember the title of it, but, this, not Sonic Adventure itself, that's like an $11 game, but Sonic Adventure Limited Edition, that's one of the rarest, that is, I think, the rarest game on the Dreamcast port here in America, and I've seen it on Amazon for like $150 the most. That is far cheaper than some of the rare games that I've heard of on like NES or such. For example, like Cheetah Man 2 or especially Nintendo World Championship, which I'm not going to die without getting my hands on both copies of Nintendo World Championship, okay? That is something I must do. I won't die happily. But the Dreamcast, I can't even say anything. Just go pick up Dreamcast. Because what's waiting for you inside this box, inside this small, tiny little box, is something so great. I remember, I think it was the PlayStation 2 or the PlayStation 3, I think the memo was like PlayStation, no, it was PlayStation 3 or PlayStation 4, so. It said, fuck, I just forgot it. It said, like, go beyond, or play beyond or something. Yeah. But, here's the truth behind it. The PlayStation's not really that focused around video games nowadays. Sony's failing as a company, actually. Dreamcast, though, that's what its only thing was. This console was made to be the game console. Not to go up against every other console out there, despite most consoles at that time dealing with polygons instead of the 128 bits this thing ran it at. But this was a console made for gamers, to be a gaming console. Not to be a somewhat movie playing, CD playing console. This was to be a game console that you would sit down and play and enjoy. Alright? Take that into consideration. That's all I can say. Happy birthday, Dreamcast. You're 16 years old now. You're a year older than me. Thanks a lot, bitch. But, thanks a lot, bitch. I'm gonna cut that part out, but. This thing is 16 years old now. 16 year old. 16 years old. I can talk. Go pick one up. The freaking PlayStation 2 is the same age as me. Alright? I'm older than both the GameCube and the Xbox original. Anything before that, I'm not. Those were before my time. This was near my time. If I was born a year earlier, I would have been the same age as it, but I was born in March, this is September. So, but in general, actually I would have probably been born before actually. But I was born quite after Dreamcast though. But off topic. This thing right here is great. You don't have one, go pick one up. I've said it a billion times so far. Just go do it, okay guys? I'm gonna end it off here. My name is Sonic568. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to leave a comment, like, subscribe. If you want to know more about this beautiful thing here, go check out Adam Koralik's channel. I'll have an annotation here. Alright guys, thanks so much, and I will talk to you guys later. I love you guys, and cue the Dreamcast startup sequence. Bye!